Hello, everyone. Welcome to Snap Take. This is Glazer of Snap Judgments, the official podcast of Marvel Snap Zone, and today is a huge day for the channel. This is the day we celebrate our 2-year anniversary of never missing a day of videos, and we naturally have 4 amazing decks for you. We're going to kick it off with Husky's Wolf deck. This is both a Fenris and a Werewolf deck. It's basically a tech Werewolf by Night list. This one is made for the Limbo location with Scarlet Witch to really steal from your opponents and get those extra cubes. It's a really cool list that Husky is in the top 20 with. This one is not easy to play, however, so it's worth knowing that if you're going to play it, you're going to need a lot of practice and you got to be really good at anticipating what your opponent is doing. You can find Husky streaming all the damn time at twitch.tv/HuskyPuppies35. He's one of the top Marvel Snap streamers in the game. This deck needs Werewolf by Night, Fenris Wolf, and Kate. The reason you need Kate is you'll see that there's only 2 1-drops here. You do need those extra 1-drops to really get your Werewolf by Night going. Gladiator here can be Agent Venom. If you're not running Gladiator, Agent Venom is a buff for a reasonable portion of the deck that also allows you access to Hood and some other cards. Cassandra Nova is your biggest on reveal 3. That's likely to be Polaris, but it could be whatever it is that you have. Nico can be Silver Sable or Hawkeye. Those are totally fine replacements, and Iron Patriot can be Mirage. So Husky is once more in the top 20, playing largely this list. He's been playing it for a few days. Scarlet Witch is just really much better now with the hot location. Turn 1, you want Nico if a good spell or pass. Turn 2, Fenris or Kate or Iron Patriot. Iron Patriot is in green because Iron Patriot is a conditional snap. Iron Patriot is a snap. If you win that location and you get the right card, opponent should generally run. Werewolf by Night is your turn 3. If Werewolf by Night with good locations, a good set of cards, you should be able to get Prio, so on and so forth. Werewolf can be a snap. That's better than Cassandra Nova. Turn 4, you can do Iron Patriot into 2, or Iron Patriot and 1s to move Werewolf. I prefer Iron Patriot on 4 to Iron Patriot on 2 in this list. I'd like to get Fenris out first. I'd like to get Kate out first for some optionality. You can also play Gladiator or Cass and a 1. Iron Patriot's fine on turn 2. Oop, let's go the other way to look at that. Iron Patriot's fine on turn 2 here, right? You do have Negasonic, Gladiator, and Juggernaut to follow it up, but if you have Werewolf, then you're going to want Iron Patriot on 4, because then you can move Werewolf into that Iron Patriot lane and get that extra power there. You're also, generally speaking, much happier to play your Gladiator, Negasonic, Juggernaut on turn 5 as opposed to turn 3. All right, so turn 4, this is your last chance for Fenris. You also want to get Negasonic or Gladiator out to make sure that you can get Fenris. Turn 6, Shangra Juggernaut, along with whatever other cheap cards to make sure Wolf ends up in the right place, and that's how you win with this one. Huskies Wolfies, Huskies Puppies is a really strong list. I urge you to give this one some run. If you like tech cards, if you like control, if you like Sarah Miracle, this is that style of list. It feels similar to play, where you have to sort of keep in mind priority constantly, keep in mind your placement constantly. But if you can do that, this one is a big winner. Now, we are giving away an Agamotto. We are announcing that Agamotto on tomorrow's video, but we're not just giving away one copy of Agamotto on this video. We'll tell you how to win the Agamotto on this video later. We are streaming today for our 2-year anniversary, and we will be on the Twitch front page. Uh, it is twitch.tv/PulseGlazer if you are interested. That is Pulse Glazer on Twitch. It's linked in the description to this video. We are giving away an absolute ton of stuff. We're giving away at least, if no one subs, no one shows up for this bundle, we are giving away at least 5 subs. And we are giving away, 5 subs. We are giving away at least 5 copies of Agamotto. And we are at least giving away 1 Sage bundle. As more people sub, and look, we've always hit all of our goals, and we're on the Twitch front page, so we should have a reasonable shot. We are giving away up to 3 Sage bundles and the Scream and Shout bundle, the bundle that comes with both Scream and Cannonball. So if you're interested in that, please do stop by. We've got guest stars. We're going to do a tier list for Series 4 and Series 5. Just make sure you check out twitch.tv/PulseGlazer if that's something you're interested. Come hang out. We'll be live from 11 a.m. Eastern to 7 p.m. Eastern. So if you want, we're there all day. Come hang. Next up, I thought Doom 2099 was dead, and this is a low sample, but Desmond climbed into the top 20 with it, and then other people playing this list after Desmond shared it have the highest win rate at high infinite with this list. So this list is absolutely working right now, and it doesn't even bother ramping Doom 2099. I did not expect this to still be good. It looks like rumors of Doom's demise were greatly, greatly exaggerated. This list, however, does rely on several things that previous versions of the list didn't. We'll get to that when we get to card by card. But for now, you can find Desmond at youtube.com/@DesmondKorea. Desmond is one of the very best players in the world. He, along with Johnson and BBAK, won the big Chinese tournament for $17,000. Brilliant, brilliant Marvel Snap player. This deck needs Doom 2099 and Sam Wilson. They are both absolute requirements for the list. Sam Wilson's ability to both work with the other Captain America and help direct your Doom box is a must. Iron Lad can be Jubilee, it's significantly worse, but it's fine. And Gorgon and Madam Web can be Psylocke. Madam Web is the secret sauce. She is the big change from my original version. This is my old Captain Latveria list that I made when Doom was still data mined, or when Doom was still a week away and Spectrum was buffed to a 6/7. This is still that same shell that I made that very, very day. So what we're ending up doing here is we're going to run card by card and explain to you how everything here is used. So Ant-Man is just a keyword big. It's a 1/5 that can be a 1/7 if it's in a Captain America lane. It's a 1/5 that can be a 1/9 if it's in Captain America lane. You play Spectrum. 1/10 with Blue Marvel. You get the idea. There's a lot of power to Ant-Man. It's an incredibly useful card. It's very simple. You're going to fill the lane, and thus it is a lot of power. It ends up being almost as much power as a Doombot, honestly. Next up, we have Madam Web, and Madam Web is here to basically redirect things you want to play. You want Madam Web to basically say, I want my Doombots here and here. I don't want to try and compete for that particular location yet, or I want to make sure that I have enough space to play Doctor Doom at the end, etc. Madam Web gives you the ability to do that. She also benefits from Captain America. She also benefits from Spectrum. Obviously, everything benefits from Blue Marvel, and thus she has use. This is replacing Psylocke, so we're not even attempting to do 2099 on 3, but we do still need him on 4. Gorgon is here because I don't know if you've been playing lately, but there is a awful lot of Mobius everywhere. There's an awful lot of all of a sudden Victoria Hand is back. We'll look at a deck for that later. All of a sudden, all these cards that we got Thanos everywhere. Gorgon just says, no, I'm going to have a really good chance of winning here. We're not going to Gorgon can be a snap against Thanos. It can be a snap if you see your opponent play like a Kate Bishop, you know their Victoria hand list, etc. Sam Wilson also helps you direct Doombots, and you do have both Captain Americas here for the extra power that offers you. Sam is great. I don't know. He's still an S tier card. He is +4 power. His body alone, if you play him, is +4 power for Spectrum. Spectrum's going to make him +3. Again, the other Captain America works really well with him too. Luke says, I don't want to have a bad matchup into Afflict or negative locations. Thank you very much. Taken care of. You basically win those matchups if you have Luke Cage. Nice and simple, right? Captain America is actually really important. Steve Rogers is really important here because every single card in the deck except Doom proper is hit by this. I guess technically Iron Lad, if it hits Doom proper, would not be hit by this, but your odds of Iron Lad hitting that are very low. So you have a ton of great Steve Rogers targets. He does represent a genuine lot of power here. Super Skrull is here because we need Luke. We can run Luke or Mobius, but Super Skrull is here basically because now we have some gameplay into negative. We have some gameplay into the random nulls that are floating around, and there's a lot of that stuff around. Opponents are also playing Gorgon, like Loki decks are running Gorgon, and if they run Gorgon and you drop a Super Skrull, it's just like kiss my butt. Have a good time with your +2 to all your cards. Stuff like that is game winning. Super Skrull is an absolute cube thief. Doom 2099 is the deck. If you don't see Doom, you're not really playing much, right? Like you can win games with both the Captain Americas and Spectrum and stuff, and Blue Marvel, etc., but you need locations and you have to get a little bit lucky. Doom says I can win. Even with the Doombot says 4-0, apparently this is still effective. Everyone, myself included, thought this was just going to be dead, and then Desmond was like, no. So Doom 2099 is the deck. Iron Lad is your extra shot at Doom if you don't see it. So you're not if you don't see Doom by 4, you play Iron Lad and you hopefully see Doom, and that's your best chance of winning. You can also play Iron Lad on 5 or 6 if you're not seeing any good endgame cards. Blue Marvel is a lot of stats all over the board. Blue Marvel basically says, and I very rarely see Blue Marvel actually hit the board in my matchups against Doom 2099. Blue Marvel being played fundamentally says the Doombots are where they were, and we know how powerful that was. And then Doom and Spectrum are your finishers. You're going to have to count. You're going to have to do math to figure out which is more power based on what you've played this game. But both of them are absolutely incredible power. They're this big power spike that can finish the game. And then a lot of games are going to come down to where that very last Doom bot randomly appears. But if that appears in the right spot after a Doom or Spectrum, you've basically got the game and you can win big cubes with it. So again, highest win rate deck at high infinite. Turn 1 Ant-Man, turn 2, you want Sam or Gorgon, and either one can be a snap condition. Sam with Cap with Doom is a snap condition. Gorgon can be a snap condition against Thanos. Madam Web is less likely to be a snap condition, but still a totally fine play. Turn 3, unless you realize you're playing Affliction, you'd really like to get out Steve Rogers Cap. Again, if you're not playing Affliction or there's not a location, at that point you'd rather play another two. This is a good Madam Web turn if you didn't have Cap. And if you are playing Affliction or it is a tech card, you play Luke next. Doom 2099 on 4, fairly often going to be a snap. As soon as you realize your opponent isn't playing anything super combo-y that's going to put a million power on the board, Doom 2099 on 4 is still a snap. Again, play the damn card. It is still super strong. And that's better than Lad. If your opponent snaps you and you don't have 2099, it might be you might just want to run. If your opponent, if you have Lad and Lad doesn't hit Doom, you might want to run. Fair enough. Turn 5, Blue Marvel, and Blue Marvel is actually important in the list now. It's a card you actually want to play instead of just something extra you have in case. That's better than Lad, which is better than Skrull. As a general rule, Skrull can go up the list depending on what your opponents are playing. If you're playing against Zoo, feel free to drop a Skrull as your opponent drops Blue Marvel, and then you get the free Blue Marvel plus everything else. And then finally, you end with Doom Classic, or you end with Spectrum, as the case may be. Count, see which is better, and you should be able to steal an absolute ton of cubes with this list. I thought it was dead. I was wrong. Doom is eternal. Before we go any further, I usually do this right at the start, but I had to tell you about the 2-year anniversary stream. Please hit that sub button. We bring you 7 days a week of Marvel Snap videos. We cover Marvel Snap more thoroughly than anyone. We'll have a big tier list video coming up for you relatively soon. We have everything, so make sure you hit that sub, like, and comment, and help us to our goal of 25,000 subs in 2025. Plus, if you'd like to win a season pass on this video, just answer, which prize would you most like to win? We're giving away 10 Marvel Snap Zone premiums. We're giving away 3 Sage bundles. We're giving away the Scream and Shout bundle and a whole bunch of other stuff. So if you're interested in any of that, which of the prizes are you most interested in? Let me know for your chance to win an Agamotto on this video. All right. Oh, also remember the Twitch for today. Thanks. Hopefully see you there. Next up, we have Splat Loki. I played this on stream yesterday. I streamed on Twitch yesterday, not YouTube. Sometimes I stream on both. Sometimes I stream on one. Today's big stream will just be a Twitch one. But the caveat here, because I can't for front page do both, right? So the big caveat here is I played this on stream on Twitch. So if you want to go check the VOD, you can. I absolutely rocked with this. This list has a few little awkward points of tension, but it is very, very strong. Splat is the brilliant deck builder who makes a million crazy decks. He was like, I have a really good straight up Loki deck for you. And he did, in fact. Because if you don't get the Loki things, all the other stuff that you're doing in this deck works really, really well with Victoria Hand shenanigans. And sometimes you just get Loki, and playing opponents' decks cheaper is a really good way to win even to this day. You can find Splat streaming at twitch.tv/Splaticus, not all the time, but fairly often. He's also the wonderful person responsible for my theme song, if you've ever seen that at the beginning of one of my streams. This deck does need Loki, Misery, Victoria Hand, Frega, and Moonstone. There's at least some argument that Misery and Hood can be some other cards. I'd really like another way to get rid of Hood or another thing to do with Hood in this list, but I couldn't figure out what that would be. Valentine and Iron Patriot can be Kate Bishop, and Copycat can be Juggernaut. All right, so there's this other version that's really, really good that's floating around. No one really seems to know who made this. Victoria Hand Iron Man is a very good list. It is fairly, fairly similar. This one tries to take advantage of Ravonna Moonstone and just says, I can end games with like 3 Iron Man, 1 Mr. Fantastic, 1 Sage, 1 Mystique sometimes. And that's obviously an incredibly powerful play pattern. That's usually going to win the damn game. Everything else here is fairly self-explanatory and relatively similar. I just wanted to show you this alternate version. Also, once more, this is yet another deck that sometimes you're just going to have to eat the Hood. Although at least we have Nico to sometimes turn it into a demon or make it draw 2 or even make it -1. So I had a 60% win rate with this on yesterday's stream, which is pretty damn good. I'm around top 300 infinite. I was actually at like 305, and then I fell down to 400, and then I got back to like 360 or so by the end of stream. All right, so turn one Loki. I have extra cards in their deck. Basically, I look at the opponent deck, and if they are Arishem, Thanos, or playing Agamotto, I know that my Loki's a pretty good hit. I'm just going to be drawing really powerful cards, one cheaper, and I'm happy to do that. Quinjet, if you have the card generators, is really great play, and then you can play Hood if you have Misery. Turn two, you want Victoria Hand if you have Frigga. You want Valentina over Iron Patriot over Hood as a general rule. One of the reasons I like to go Valentina over Iron Patriot is because then I can go Iron Patriot and then I can play the 6 drop on 4, which usually wins an Iron Patriot lane. You can also drop Hood on 2 and then do the Hood Iron Patriot Burst play, which is where you go Hood into Iron Patriot and Demon on the Hood and then you misery that pile. You get a second Iron Patriot card, you destroy the Hood, you get a second Demon, and that works out really well. So turn three, Iron Patriot and Demon for that play I just described. You can also Frigga um, the Victoria Hand. Don't feel like you have to Frigga Victoria Hand here. You can Frigga Victoria Hand. You can Frigga a 3-cost Valentina card. You can Frigga a discounted Iron Patriot card or even just a Demon. All fine things to Iron Patriot. If you don't have any of your little combo pieces, you just play White Queen. White Queen's really, really good at letting you know what your opponent has and what your opponent's planning to do. Turn four, Demon, the Hood. Demon, sorry, that should not say Demon. That should say Misery, the Hood pile. Or you can play Mockingbird on Frigga, or Quinjet, or you can drop 2/2s. Any of the above are fine. Turn five is your last Misery. You can also generate cards. And then turn six, play the damn generated cards. And then you win. Enjoy your victory. This list is really cool. It puts out an absolute ton of power. Playing Loki and having Loki work really well is great. Loki's not amazing, but he is good. People are a little overrating him at this point and overplaying him, but he is a very good card. Check out the stream team for some of our friends playing some of these lists. Obi Haved will be live around the same time as I am today. If you're curious to check out Obi, we also have the great Gregor streaming tomorrow, and Fothar Newman and Tucker should have videos on their YouTubes about earlier in the week's videos. Next up, we've got Ika's Darkhawk Agamotto. This is just a smash together of, well, this is okay. This is basically the standard Darkhawk list, and then it's got Agamotto. I don't know. Seems pretty good to me. Agamotto just offers you an extra big 5-drop, and it offers you a bit of extra control cards and other shenanigans. You can find Ika at twitch.tv/Ika_MTS. This deck needs Darkhawk and Cassandra. The reason it needs Darkhawk and Cassandra is this list is fundamentally trying to feed on other Agamotto decks. This is trying to feed on other on Arishem and Thanos decks that are in the meta. As long as you're seeing any of those, this deck can auto snap those matchups. You're going to lose your fair share of them, but you'll win far more and you'll win far more cubes that way. So you can auto snap those matchups and just go to town with that in your mind. That's basically it. So you do need both Cassandra and Darkhawk for that. Cassandra is very often like 10, 15 power in this list. Agamotto can be Iron Man. It's worse, but it's doable. Sam, Kate, Iron Patriot, Scarlet Witch, Quake. Replacing the twos is hard. Hopefully, you bought the recent season passes. Sam, Kate, Iron Patriot season passes from last August to now are the class of the 2 drops of Marvel Snap. Try Jeff, I guess. Mobius can be Rogue or Red Guardian. Mobius is really good right now. And Nico can be Zabu. So this is Ika's current best win rate deck this season, inching out the one we featured in yesterday's video. Turn one, you want Korg or Nico if Destroy Demon. I'm telling you, even with just 2 4s, but Agamotto puts a 4, I'm strongly considering making Nico Zabu here, just so you know. Turn two is whichever two. If you know you're planning on dropping both 5s, Armor is amazing for you. You can also end up playing Armor at the end of the game just fine. Iron Patriot, if you feel like you can win, if there's a bunch of cards in the deck and you have Cassandra Nova, it's great. Sam is just a relatively safe and powerful play. Turn three, Cass over Mobius, unless you can get a bunch of rocks in the deck over the next couple turns, then Cass can go later, or unless Mobius just shuts down the opponent's whole deck. Turn five, generally speaking, with Darkhawk or Agamotto. Feel free to pick your poison. Turn six, Darkhawk or Agamotto or Shang, and Shang is really great here because if you play Darkhawk or Agamotto, your opponents can try and win by Shanging you. You play your armor in that location, and then you Shang another location, you've won the game. It's pretty nice. I really like this list. I think it's worth checking out. We're actually not going to answer any questions today. Instead, we're going to tell you once more, twitch.tv/PulseGlazer. Today means a lot to me. I really, really hope it's a success. And I really hope that if you're able to find any time to even just stop by, that you are willing to do so. It would mean the world if you're willing to support. So please come check it out. Certain support on our Patreon come with on-air thanks. I'm going to say thank you to Absolute Shannon, our patron of the month. We will get a Patreon for April in today's stream. We've also got Abigail Gislin, Mandatory Burnout, It Regardless, Always Kind, LAB, Inc., I Am Frostman, Hota Navarrete, Thinking Poker, Brian Bryan, Ryan Burke, and Ryan Wood, Caretix Lee, The King of Questions, Koirei, Kazushi, Archangel 3K, Black Dahlia, Pyrophoros, The Goat Seeker, Hallowed, Nightmare, Only Fox, Synth, Rat Nick, Dirty Casual, Mr. Kerfuffle, Cables, Ginger Prime, Philip Rakovich, Haplo, Kenny Loggins of the Danger Zone, The Bizza, Black Jeebus 23, Exorcy and Skippy G, Jessica Gamble, Slush Death, King of Bros, The Great Kazoo, Werewolf, Kevsey Hoda, Luna, Clam, Colonel Forbin, Rob Silverman, M. Holland, David G. Wingfield, Stephen, Brian Kaufman, Tristan H. Martin, Jason B., Mr. Craig Sterry, Matt V., Ren Wrench, Corwin, John Q., Jimmy McHugh, Yistout, 8 Sage, One Big Man, Milkman for Reels, Cactus Jack, BG, Quid Pro Joe, Snap Decision Show, Mod Supreme, Models, Green Goblin, Unibot, Flan 56, The Fuzzy Lump, Spectrum X, Hoot, Aku, it's Ocularis, Matt H, The Only One We Need, TJ Mikey Hedgings, No Flex, Nick Duck, Greek Geek, thank you for that flyer, Nikki, Zadrex, The King of Canada, Dan Man Falcon, Falthor Newman, Jonesy, Two Ties, The Great Learners, The Perry King Tucker, and of course, The Great Gunny T, where the T stands for twitch.com/PulseGlazer. I'll see you there later. Thanks for the love and support here on YouTube too. We just hit 19,000 subs. It means the world. Appreciate, love all you, and I'll see you tomorrow for another Snap Take. Peace.